with VR and AR to a certain extent, what we're really trying to do first and foremost is replace our screens, give ourselves a new computer screen on which we can work.
You can see where this is going in the future, where future generations of hardware should be able to do all the things better than any of the other things before.
We're three-dimensional beings. We should start thinking about how we can get technology to adjust to us.
We're already seeing some of the creativity that augmented reality can unlock, and I think that this is all just going to get a lot better as AR starts to become even more mainstream.
Transformation that we're seeing right now with digital technology is not unique. This happened before and is an evolution, continual evolution of humankind.
When I first looked at VR 7 years ago, I could see that it would become the most immersive form of communication and collaboration and could really bring people closer together and open our eyes to boundless possibilities.
Everything we've known before, art, education, entertainment, science, information, and viewing it through a new lens.
XR possesses the power to change our life for the better.
And what it's going to take is all of us thinking about how not to just ride this wave, but make this the biggest wave of making humanity reach its potential. And that's our identity, looking out into the future.
Welcome to the Creative Solutions launch event. Thank you for joining us this evening in the King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture. My name is Dumia Abdi, and I will be your MC for tonight to celebrate the launch of Ithra's Creative Solutions program. Over the next 45 minutes, we will be exploring what this new and exciting program has to offer and how it can help accelerate your journey to innovation. We will also be learning how immersive technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality are expanding worldwide. But first, let's take a look at what's in store for you tonight. To kickstart the evening, we will have an introduction as to why Creative Solutions is important to you. And then we will hear from our keynote speaker, Vicky Dobbs-Beck from Lucasfilms. Then to wrap up the evening, we'll have an immersive sound and light show just for you. Now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to you Head of Strategy at Ithra, Fatima Al-Rashid, to introduce to you Creative Solutions 2021.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلى مبدعي ومبدعات المملكة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إنه لمن دواعي سروري اليوم الترحيب بكافة المبدعين والموهوبين في المملكة العربية السعودية. وأود أن أعلن من خلال هذه المنصة عن إطلاق برنامج الحلول الإبداعية الذي يقدمه مركز إثراء هذا العام تحت شعار ابتكار محتوى رقمي فعال، بهدف تسليط الضوء على التقنيات الرقمية الفعالة التي تعزز إنتاج المحتوى الإبداعي في المملكة. إثراء يهدف في أبعاده المتنوعة أن يكون تلك البيئة الملهمة التي يجد فيها المبدعون المكان الذي يحفزهم لاستثمار طاقاتهم الإبداعية. نعمل معاً على تمكين الإبداع في المملكة وتطوير المحتوى المحلي حتى يرتقي إلى المعايير العالمية، وذلك من خلال تحويل الأفكار إلى واقع ملموس ومنتجات تصنع لها مكاناً في السوق العالمي كمنتجات إبداعية سعودية تستطيع المنافسة أمام المنتجات الأخرى. من هذا البرنامج نسعى في إثراء إلى المساهمة في مستقبل صناعة وإنتاج الإبداع من خلال توفير المساحة للمبتكرين والموهوبين وخلق بيئة تفاعلية لتبادل الأفكار في مجالات الفنون والعلوم والتقنية وريادة الأعمال لتطوير ودعم صناعة الإبداع في المملكة وتعزيز الاقتصاد المعرفي. من الجدير بالذكر أن ناتج الاقتصاد الإبداعي في العالم في عام 2017 بلغ أكثر من 2 تريليون دولار، وفي نفس العام أنتج الاقتصاد الإبداعي صادرات عالمية تزيد عن 250 مليار دولار. هي مؤشرات تبشر بمستقبل واعد في هذا المجال بشكل أكيد. وفي الختام نتطلع إلى مساهمتكم من خلال أفكاركم المبدعة إلى العمل معاً في بناء هذه المنصة وجعلها وجهة عالمية للإبداع. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
With every generation, technology is evolving. It's changing the way we live. It allows you to experience a new world of possibilities. a world where you can go to places you've never been. Today, immersive technology allows you to alter reality, bring it closer, change it, and innovate. At Ithra, we want you to create your own immersive experience. Our Creative Solutions program. Creatives, technologists, and artists in Saudi. We are looking for your projects in augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, haptics, and immersive audio. We will offer you leading insights, world-class partners, industry experts, cutting-edge training, and funding. Throughout Creative Solutions, we will work with you to translate your idea into reality. Pitch your prototype to investors and collaborators and share it with thousands of people. Learn, explore, and create the unknown. Apply to Creative Solutions program today. For more information, visit www.ithra.com.
Thank you, Fatima, for a great introduction to the program. Ithra empowers creativity in the kingdom and develops content throughout its programs. As Fatima highlighted, Creative Solutions is an opportunity to be a part of the future in a growing economy, not just in Saudi Arabia, but in the world. We now move on to our keynote speaker, Vicky Dobbs-Beck, the executive in charge at ILMX Lab and serving over 3 decades at Lucasfilm. Vicky will be exploring the importance of immersive technology in the future of her work and invites you to imagine the world of possibilities that lies before us. But first, let's take a look at Vicky's most recent work and begin by looking at the official trailer from the Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Stay alive and meet me in Cecil Slack's cantina.
The thing I love about Black Spire Outpost? You never know who you're gonna cross paths with.
I am a highly trained resistant spy.
There's something wrong with this place.
Received your distress call. The council did. Hey, your pirate friend stopped by while you were out.
Oh dear. Don't be silly. You'll never make it.
Hello. I'm really honored to speak with you, and I only wish we could all be together in person. But I truly believe with the advent of immersive technologies, we are on the verge of a renaissance of creative opportunity. These opportunities will be impactful and hopefully even transformational. But before getting into the heart of my talk, I wanted to give you a little background on myself. I think it will help provide context for my passion and my beliefs for the future. I've been with Lucasfilm, now a part of Disney, for almost 3 decades. My journey has been distinguished by an ongoing quest for innovation. And that quest was inspired by the legacy of George Lucas himself, who created one of the richest and deepest narrative universes ever conceived and brought to life. I started at ILM when we just finished Willow, and we were in production on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. At that time, there were 6 computer graphic artists at ILM, and I happened to be on the same hall with them. I've always sought to be a catalyst for change, for possibility, and as the visual effects industry matured, I helped the company expand globally. We now have several thousand artists in 5 studios worldwide. But throughout all of this, my passion has been about innovation and storytelling. So let's ask ourselves, why does innovation in storytelling even matter? In the words of Ursula K. Le Guin, there have been great societies that did not use the wheel, but there have been no societies that did not tell stories. Stories are as much a part of us as life itself. And so when there are new ways to tell stories, we should be there, embracing such opportunities. Immersive technologies may be the catalyst for a renaissance of creativity. Now for the structure of my talk. First, I'd like to take a brief look back to put the opportunity in context. Remember. Then let's consider the power and potential of what lies before us. And finally, let's imagine the possibilities. To illustrate my points, I'll be sharing some very rough experiments as well as polished experiences that ILMX Lab has created. The goal is really to highlight the potential and inspire all of us with the opportunities in this emerging industry. So remember, as we all know, the film business is more than 125 years old. Even video games is over 40 years old. Both industries are highly competitive, although I have to say that streaming has given film and television a new lease on life. But what's exciting is that in the face of mature industries come opportunities. That is, if we're willing to step outside of what we know. We call this new market space a blue ocean, as coined by W. Chan Kim and Renee Marbone in their best-selling book, The Blue Ocean Strategy. These devices, virtual reality, augmented reality, and even new applications of mobile are disrupting traditional forms of entertainment. They are new platforms for expression. They allow us to convey emotion and establish deep and intimate connections to story and place. We are on the verge of a renaissance that invites us to innovate in storytelling, in all shades of reality. So remember, virtual reality allows you to transport to other worlds, while augmented reality allows you to see our world differently. With the advent of these devices, I personally became an entrepreneur, developing opportunities in XR within the greater Lucasfilm and Disney company. In creating for this new medium, we have to recognize that they're not films, not games, and not attractions. But we can learn from all of these. We can borrow from each to mold a new type of experience. Further, this is a collaborative art form that requires artists, engineers, storytellers, designers. There is not yet a template. We have to learn from one another and develop a shared language. We have to approach design and implementation and even production in new ways. This is a new brush, a new canvas. So let's now consider what is special about this opportunity. Well, let's first look at the market size. From Superdata's relatively conservative forecast that worldwide XR revenue will be $11.9 billion in 2024, to Allied Market Research forecasts that the global AR and VR market will reach $571+ billion by 2025. I've seen estimates all over the map, but in broad strokes, it's not uncommon to see projections of 25 to 40% compounded annual growth for the next 5 to 7 years. So what does this mean? The opportunity is huge and growing. But it's really not just the financial opportunity that's compelling. It's also about the unique creative potential. Virtual reality has allowed us to invite people to step inside our stories in ways never before possible. I think one of the best examples of that in our portfolio was the experience that we created in collaboration with The Void several years ago, called Star Wars: Secrets of the Empire. This was a location-based experience that you do with your family and friends. It blends the physical and the digital worlds, and it evokes all of the senses. What you see, hear, feel, smell, and probably one day even what you taste. We call this hyperreality, and it really speaks to one of VR's unique strengths, the power of presence, or the power of being there. Now I'd like to share the trailer from that experience.
This is Mon Mothma. I have an assignment for you. The rebellion needs you, and we don't have much time. You must work together. You must not fail. In disguise, your team's mission is to recover Imperial intelligence critical to our survival.
You're with me. The rest of you, get on that skiff. Do your best to act Imperial.
Looks like you'll have to fight your way out.
What is that?
This could be a threat to our entire existence.
So what makes hyperreality really special? Well, first, it's that marriage of the physical world with the virtual world. So where you see a wall in the virtual world, there's actually a physical wall. And that one-to-one mapping causes your brain to immediately buy into the reality. When you couple that with transducers, sense, heat or cold, you feel as if you're really there. This is possible because in a location-based experience, you control 100% of the environment. Sadly, COVID has really challenged the location-based space, but I do believe it will make a resurgence.
I've been wanting to step into a Star Wars movie for as long as I could remember, and I think getting to see that and touch that and feel that really put me in that film unlike anything else ever has, and it was a dream come true, really.
If you ever really want to be in Star Wars, the Void is where you're going to go to do that.
We got to be characters in the movie. You can't get that anywhere else.
You can't get it anywhere else. From the minute you walk in and you have the briefing from Captain Cassian, it's like you're in Rogue One.
I mean, you were walking right there where Anakin became Darth Vader, and it was incredible. It was transformative.
The moment when we picked up our blasters, and then the guy that we were with accidentally fired his, and so then all the alarms went off, and we're like, oh my God!
The thing Void does that's really cool is you reach out and you can actually touch the walls around you.
Okay, but if you want to feel like you're actually in a Star Wars movie, you need to come do this.
If you've never experienced it, it's undescribable, so it's like, how do I describe this to you? You just have to go, you just got to do it.
So again, it's that power of presence. VR's other superpower is the power of connection, connecting you with characters in intimate and compelling ways. In our portfolio of work, I think this was best represented in our 3-part episodic VR story series that was designed for the home, Vader Immortal. When we started that project, we envisioned that you, the user, were actually an observer, essentially a ghost. And our big aha moment was realizing that given the power of VR, we needed to make you the focus. You had to be the central character. You had to matter. Although Darth Vader was extremely compelling and powerful, this had to be your story. Your unfolding relationship with Darth Vader became the journey. We did an initial test where Vader confronts you in the cell. The door opened, Vader appears, he walks toward you. Heavy breathing, heavy footfalls. He looks you in the eyes and addresses you. Honestly, it was so powerful, most people didn't even hear or process Vader's dialogue. It reinforced for us that power of connection, and it also taught us something about pacing. The other related wish fulfillment opportunity was wielding a lightsaber. From the first time we put on an Oculus Quest, we immediately understood that being tetherless was a game changer. We could take full advantage of designing in 360 degrees. The key here, however, was making sure that the lightsaber moments were truly in service of putting you into an authentic Star Wars story. Your actions had to move the narrative forward. As you watch the trailer for Episode 1 of Vader Immortal, think about both the power of presence, or being there, and the power of connection.
convenience. In a moment, the Lord of this monolith will give you a task, a word of advice. Do not anger Vader.
Now that Vader's found you, he's in reach of enormous power. You must escape.
Grab my hand! I wonder what Vader is after.
It appears Vader has finally found his candidate. And our future is in your hands. Vader is here.
You are the one I've been searching for. Do as I command.
Is there any version of this plan that doesn't end up with us being dead?
The power of connection is also one of AR, or augmented reality's great strengths. For a number of years, we had a strategic collaboration with Magic Leap, and with them we released an experiment called Project Porg.
The story of Project Porg is that Chewbacca has left a device along with a Porg, and C-3PO has sent a message that explains how you can take care of it.
Oh my god.
Project Porg is an aspirational experiment, and it's important because we can spark people's imagination about what's going to be possible in the world of mixed reality.
Chewbacca suggests you try offering the Porg a treat.
Mixed reality places you at the center, and an experience can start in the home, continue throughout the journey, and culminate in this transformative destination.
The experience was designed such that your relationship matured over a series of short episodes or engagements. As we were getting ready to launch the experience, I did all of the episodes in succession. So I was in the glasses playing with the Porgs for a little over an hour in my world. What I was not prepared for was when I took off the glasses and the Porgs disappeared, I actually felt this great sense of loss. Even in that relatively short time, they had become my friends, much like pets. The power of connection. When you design to take advantage of VR's or AR's strengths, the power of presence or being there, and the power of connection, whether in a home or a location, there is the potential to create lasting memories. In our experience, this was perhaps most powerfully demonstrated with a project called Carne y Harina. We had the privilege of collaborating with Alejandro Inarritu on this VR experience that put you in a scene with immigrants who were crossing the border from Mexico into the United States in the dead of night, seeking a better life. When they're caught, the experience is visceral and impactful beyond almost anything you can imagine. This short piece gives you a glimpse of the experience and the making of. Like the Void experiences, there was a sense of hyper-reality to this location-based experience. You were barefoot in the sand, and it was extremely cold, as it would be in the desert at night. Not only was Carne y Arena chosen as the first ever VR official selection at the Cannes Film Festival in 2017, it was awarded a special Oscar by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in recognition of a visionary and powerful experience in storytelling. It was the first such award in 19 years, the prior one for John Lasseter in Toy Story. And much was written about the experience, but my favorite quote is that from the Toronto Star: "An experience that lasts just 6.5 minutes, but creates a memory that lasts a lifetime." This experience is now living on with a new installation in Denver, Colorado. This was made possible by reducing the footprint and adapting for the Vive Pro wireless, so it was a lighter setup. By following the tech innovation curve, we'll be able to bring this experience to more people around the world and make a lasting impact. So after taking a look at where we've come from and considering the power of the opportunity, let's imagine what might be possible in the future. First, let's acknowledge that our relationship to reality is fundamentally changing. Imagine what hide and seek might be like in a mixed reality future. The hall closet will be BB-8's favorite place to hide. And over time, this little girl will come to expect this because she knows BB-8 as a friend, as a true character companion. When she grows up, this girl who is now a woman will carry that memory of how BB-8 always hid in the closet. This will remain her reality. It's a real memory. It's personal, and it's potentially lasting. Taking the example of Project Porg I shared earlier a step further, we can connect characters to smart devices, but they of course interact in personality. So when they turn the speaker on, they listen to their favorite song. And when they turn on the light, the color of the light also reflects off the Porg. So that's a key to blending the augmented reality with the real world. In time, this can be a very social experience. Imagine a world in which many of us have droid companions. Not only can your droid recognize your friends, but they're droid companions as well. And we can skin our world. We can populate a park with dinosaurs, ideally seamlessly blending the real and digital elements. This was an early experiment, but all of this becomes particularly exciting when AR glasses are a reality. Having your hands free will profoundly change the nature of the experience. We're also interested in what AR might mean for location-based entertainment. And as another part of our strategic collaboration with Magic Leap, we created an augmented reality, location-based experience in a large ballroom. It was essentially a recreation of the scene from Hoth in Empire Strikes Back. You can see the physical props in the midground. Now watch this piece and look at the way we can open up the physical world.
We don't have time for repairs, R5. Give me full power. I'm gonna need it out there. Echo Station 57, this is Rogue 8. We're on our way. This is Rogue 8. We've taken damage in hangar. There'll be a slight delay. R5, find a way to jumpstart the power converters. Override the safeties. We've got company. R5, find a way to give me full charge. Thanks, Rogue 9. You too, R5. Echo Station 57, this is Rogue 8. All systems are go. We are on our way.
So whether it's the seam between the digital and physical worlds, or a hybrid of the physical versus virtual events, boundaries are disappearing. Our most recent release was Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and you saw the trailer just before my talk. Here we saw an opportunity to extend the world of the theme parks, inviting our guests to go beyond the boundaries of Black Spire Outpost in the world of Batuu at Disneyland and Disney World. We weren't trying to replicate what had been so beautifully done in the parks physically, but rather create experiences that would be impossible to have created in the real world. We wanted to allow people to explore and discover, and we combined this idea of mission-based adventures with more curated legends. This is another short trailer, and this is related to the first legend in Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, called Temple of Darkness.
Back when this place was a hub on a hyperspace route, the Jedi set up a temple not too far from here.
There's something wrong with this place. They're gone. I don't feel any of them.
No. Lost the temple is. Only death, here now. Follows you, it does.
So in the face of COVID and the dramatic changes in the way we interact with one another, we're seeing companies like Spaces pivoting from the physical world to virtual worlds. They're becoming a bridge between a VR world and Zoom, Skype, Hangouts, and more. In late August, it was announced that Apple bought Spaces, not for the location-based entertainment that launched the company, but for their role in creating avatars and enhancing video conferences. And with the advent of virtual spaces, AIXR took their awards show to the next level. While motivated by the restrictions of COVID, I genuinely believe this evolution elevated the nature of the experience and enabled new and compelling ways for a global audience to engage. Let's take a look.
COVID-19 cases are on the
Another
rise.
event canceled due to COVID-19.
COVID-19 is starting to cause worldwide
What do you do in
disruption.
a world where physical events are no longer possible? Well, you just create a new world where they are.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Thrill Seeker.
What?
All of this to say that possibilities are expanding. Helium is a company that uses biometrics to drive experiences. They call themselves an empathy agency. So imagine if within an experience, rather than unlocking a puzzle with a controller, what if you could use the Force by lowering your heart rate to a meditative state? Effective use of biometric data could lead to entirely new experiences. And applications of XR are going to go well beyond the entertainment and storytelling space. In fact, they already have. There are deeply compelling uses for training and healthcare. For us at ILMX Lab, Lucasfilm, and the greater Disney, we see a future in connected storytelling. So as we look toward the future, I borrowed these 8-bit graphics from a colleague who thought they were the best way to speculate about the future. But as we look toward the future, we believe that compelling, immersive experiences will not be adaptations, but they'll be wholly unique, designed for the device and a platform's strength. It's about world building and placemaking. It's about intimate, meaningful connections with characters. cinematic imagery and compelling use of spatial audio, invoking the senses. Someday, it will be a living world where stories unfold. Experiences will extend across platforms, leveraging their unique strengths. Your character companion can join you on your journey and can recognize not only you and your friends, but their virtual companions as well. Self-driving cars, or even flying cars, will become entertainment hubs and a platform where during your journey you can be transported, whether adventures or social interactions. Mapped cities and buildings will allow us to take mixed reality to the streets. And then there's an opportunity for AR social events, perhaps the culmination of an ongoing adventure. What previously you had experienced alone, perhaps the finale is experienced together. With this evolution of connected, complementary experiences that cross platforms, we are indeed transitioning from storytelling, which is one-way communication, to story living, where you're in a world making meaningful choices that drive the connected narrative forward. We talked about connecting the stories of the theme parks, Galaxy's Edge, with a VR experience that extends the boundaries of the physical world. Similarly, we took a holistic approach with Vader Immortal. We actually set up the Vader Immortal VR story series with the location-based void experience Star Wars Secrets of the Empire. It took place on an outpost on Mustafar, and you could see Vader's castle in the distance. With Vader Immortal, you then meet Vader on his home turf and wield a lightsaber. From a narrative perspective, you discover his bigger plan. And most recently, we've introduced an arcade version of the Lightsaber Dojo. This is really just a fun way to engage with a lightsaber and refine your skills. We look forward to a time when storytelling becomes story living. We think of it like a mosaic. Each tile is a compelling experience on its own, designed to take advantage of the medium or the device's unique strengths. But all of the individual tiles, when taken together, reveal a much bigger and more intricate design. If approached holistically, the whole can truly be greater than the sum of the parts. In closing, I encourage all of you to dare to be courageous in thinking about what's possible in the service of good with these emerging technologies. Dream big. Participate in this renaissance of creative possibility. And so I leave you with the words of Master Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you to the Ithra team that made this all possible. We truly hope that you've been inspired. Remember, the open call is now live, and we hope you'll join the Creative Solutions program today. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you, Vicky. Over the coming year, we will continue to have expert keynote sessions such as these to help boost and empower your creativity. We have seen how Hollywood uses immersive technologies, but it has the potential to provide solutions to many more areas of our lives. Whether you're a doctor, engineer, filmmaker, artist, or a student, this is an opportunity to create solutions where technologies adjust to our needs. If you have a story to tell or an idea to share, then Ithra will support you through masterclasses and mentorships, access to the latest equipment, funding to take your ideas into a reality, and the opportunity to connect with investors. We need to find innovative solutions to the challenges we face, which is why we invite you to apply to this year's Creative Solutions program. All information on how to apply can be found at ithra.com. We end our session today with an audiovisual show. If you're already ahead of the game, then put on your VR headset and enjoy the full experience. I want to thank you all for participating with us here at Ithra. My name is Dumia Abdi, and I hope to welcome you all again soon.
bed.